This is a building that defines this place, the big heart of Bellingham.
It's one of the anchors of this community.
People's lives are wrapped up in this place, their emotions, their memories, but there's something special that the Mount Baker Theater can provide that no one else can.
You can feel this place's history, but then you are also a part of it.
It's not just a building, it's a place that brings inspiration and joy to others.
Preserving this facility is preserving a big chunk of history. This has history.
Without this theater here, I don't think that Bellingham would be as wonderful and as happy as it is.
The weighty responsibility of running the building is weighty enough, but to know that you're at the helm for the 100th birthday is another level of like, whoa. People feel a great sense of pride in this building. The fact that we're here 100 years later, that wasn't random chance. That was a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, and a lot of funding support from the community that we're still here now. And so people talk about, oh, preparing for the next 100 years. Exactly, right, preparing for the next 100 years.
In Bellingham, we're very fortunate to have had, in 1927, a vaudeville house built by an architect with a huge atmospheric imagination.
Hello, I'm Maureen. I'll start out here. 1926, a group of gentlemen came up here and they bought this property, the property across the street. April 9th of 1926, they broke ground.
From groundbreaking until opening, it took a remarkably short amount of time, actually.
And this is the tower being built.
The new Mount Baker Theater will present the acme of perfection and the ultra-modern inconvenience. Bellingham will have a motion picture palace second to none.
And that's opening night, April 29th of 1927. 14 months from, let's build a theater, which is astonishing.
Opening night was attended by thousands of people, many of whom couldn't get in because it was already sold out.
Whistles will shrill, sirens will shriek, bells will clang. The Mount Baker Theater will swing open its doors for the first time tonight, admitting the fun-loving public to the most beautiful motion picture palace in the state of Washington.
Having a theater like the Mount Baker meant a lot of excitement and anticipation, and it was built to be a place of magic, place of dreams, and that's what it is.
This is supposed to look like a Spanish galleon. The captain's cabin is up there. The theater seats 1,517.
It's remarkable to me how much of it has changed and how much of it's exactly the same. The theater was built as a silent film and vaudeville palace. And so we still do that. And we still do modern day vaudeville, which is concerts and speakers and all different kinds of variety of programming.
You sit amidst a crowd of people, of hundreds of people who've come from all around the region, and you find yourself a part of a cultural current. Imagine how our lives would dry out if we didn't have that.
We are now the Bellingham that is 100,000 people. What we present on this stage has to meet the needs of that diverse community. It isn't just Broadway musicals, it isn't just rock and roll, it isn't just this, it's all of it. A city without that is very, very dull.
It brings so much inspiration and so much joy. There's something that happens when you walk in here. Like it changes a person's soul.
As time went on, television reception became better and more entertainment options, I suppose. So by the 60s and 70s, the Mount Baker was in danger of shutting down.
They were going to chop the building up and to make it a triplex.
For instance, turn this stage into one theater, turn the balcony into another, split up the main house.
The very thought that this building would be divided into such a thing horrified the public. and really became a motivator in preserving the Mount Baker Theater.
We care about this building and we want to save it. Let's raise enough money that we can convince the city to buy the theater.
So the city said yes, and they spent $750,000, and we gave them $100,000.
Which was an enormous fundraise back in those days. The city bought the building with a little help from the county and became the owners of the building.
The city's like, well, we don't want to run a theater. And so that group of people said, we'll form a nonprofit and we'll run it for you.
And the Mount Baker Theater Committee was designated the nonprofit manager of the building. And the word committee has been dropped, but other than that, it's been the same arrangement ever since.
And so that was like 40 years ago. And that same nonprofit has been running this organization ever since. There are parallels between then and now, just how important the theater is to just how many people.
At the same time as this is a wonderful, thriving organization, it thrives because it's supported. And unless it's supported, it can't thrive.
There's a lot of costs that go into keeping this theater up and running. There's constant maintenance on a building like this.
The endless shoveling out of fixing things as things break.
It's a half a city block. The building is a half a city block. It takes a lot of people to clean that building and keep it in good repair.
Imagine what it takes to heat and air condition a space like this. Imagine what it takes to maintain the roof.
Do we have to have ticketing services? Do we have to have food and beverage? We'll have like a Broadway show and they'll have like 60 stagehands that are needed.
We're always working on making sure that the theater is in good shape. It is a working theater, it's not a time capsule. And so right now, what we're looking at is needing to replace our seats in the auditorium. They were used when we bought them in 1994, so they've lasted 30 years, but they're just failing. Literally, it's metal fatigue. The theater is great, except that if there's no place to sit, that's a problem. There's 1,500 of those seats to replace, right? That's a big deal. We need to replace the carpet that goes underneath those seats, because when you rip the seats out, it messes up the carpet. And then the historic pipe organ of all things. It's as old as the theater. There's all these things on it that you just can't fix those anymore. They just need to be refurbished. But in order to do some of these significant infrastructure elements, we're gonna need the support of the entire community to make sure that things like that can be done. We've invested so much money into this building as a community. Is like, are we just gonna let it all fade away now? Like, it's a scary space. We inherited this gorgeous thing, and what do we do to keep that moving forward for the next generations?
There's a lot of solace in realizing that this place was here long before we were and will be here long after. You can't say that about a lot of places.
It's been here 100 years. It's made out of 18-inch thick concrete. It's going nowhere. I mean, it will be here as long as we can keep the infrastructure inside of it working in good shape. There's no reason to think it won't be here 100 years from now, looking remarkably like it looks now and doing remarkably the same thing.
In next 10 or 15 years, Bellingham is going to get 30,000 more people. So are we providing those people with what they need to be entertained in a way that fulfills their soul?